guys, my name is Raoul Rutnam. I go as Rantman Rutnam, and this is Buwanaka, and
Hello.
he's here with us today. And when I say us, I mean like just us. Okay, right? We are going to talk about. Well, we think we're going to talk about Independence Day, but we are not sure how far this video is going to go because I get sidetracked, and I'm pretty sure he's also going to get sidetracked with me.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's see how this video goes. I think we're going to talk about independence. What do you want to talk about independence since today is our Independence Day?
Ooh. There's a lot to start from how far we've gone to since independence.
Yeah.
And are we really happy being independent?
That's a question I ask all the time because I have a burger mix. So I'm like, you guys really doing that well? Like, you sure you don't want us back? I mean, Australia is like doing really well, okay? Just saying. I'm just putting it out there, guys. It's an option. We can always come back to play with your elephants and spices. Okay?
Talking about Australia, like, I think they've actually gone really far. And I know they're like a dominion, but still they consider themselves to be independent.
Independent, yeah.
Take a lot of independent decisions when it comes to economy, culture. But we are truly independent. But
Although I mean, I see a red flag.
like it says so on the constitution.
I see a red flag with a yellow star on it somewhere, but
And a dragon in the corner.
yeah. You know, it's like ni hao. But jokes aside, like our country has had independence for how many years? I mean, our previous president messed up my calculation.
Yeah. 73? 73 or 73, I think, yeah.
So over 70 years of independence, and our country hasn't been doing very well, if I say so, because if you talk to a lot of people who are our age, in the mid-20s, the first thing they want, or early 20s for that matter, the first thing people want to do is get a degree and get out of this country, which is a very bad thing to have as a mindset, as people, because obviously you want to give back to our country, but our country is not giving us the opportunity to give back. Like we are losing, you know,
100%.
yeah, so
Like,
much out of it.
I mean, we should really be ashamed of the fact that people have moving out of this country as a life goal.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. It's just that that's the situation in the
Yes.
country where people feel like it's better to get out of it. That there's a better opportunity.
Out there than in here, and it's okay if, like he said, it's okay if, you know, there are a certain number of people, like a percentage, like 5% of the population want to go abroad and migrate and live in a different environment. That's completely fine. But here you have like 75% of the young generation wanting to go out, which is like something's wrong somewhere.
And see, like, one of the main causes of this, like what pushed people towards independence back in the 40s was that there was not enough opportunity, and that opportunity and moving up the ladder was sort of confined to a set of people, set of Europeans. That's what they used to say. Oh, we've got to have it all. Everyone needs to have a chance. But 70 years later, we're still sort of struggling with this elitism or this
the narcissistic kind of mindset.
So opportunity has, like, still we don't have opportunity. It's just that the difference is that now instead of a particular country holding on to it, it's just a particular set of people. So yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah. And what do you think about the current? I don't know how we're going to get into this topic, whether we are going too far in this, but what do you think about our current political system, how it works, and how people are being appointed? Because I know you talk a lot about this, and I learn a lot from your videos. So, I mean, if you want, let's get into.
I don't mind that at all. Like, see, when you talk.
Guys, hold on, sorry. If you guys are sending a white brand, please make it AC because we would like the AC option.
We've grown up all podak fancy.
For the posh.
We can't just do some random white brand, make sure it's a nice one.
Yeah. I mean, we used to go to school in those vans with the shutters open, please.
Yeah, please, no. Please. None of that.
A bit of an upgrade, okay? We are 70 years now past independence, okay? Just letting you guys know. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, talking about the political, like how it has changed, which it hasn't at all. Like, I was reading up a bit on how our founding fathers really did their thing, and nepotism was still present within that group. And I read somewhere where when the Brits want to give us universal suffrage, this is funny because see, like when it comes to leaders, they're always divided about how they are the savior of a particular ethnicity or a particular religion. But back in the 40s, when universal suffrage was going to be given, they were all united. Whether it was the Sinhalese aristocrats, the Tamil aristocrats, or the burgher elites. Oh, no. They're like, no. It should be just amongst like people who are educated and people like. So it's funny because that's the same ideology that goes on right now.
Right now.
Yeah. I know some people who are like, yeah, why should we give voting rights for some of these? No, you can't tell that. It's there, right?
Well, it's there, right? Yeah. We can't be like only this amount of people or this sect of people, and you know.
And it's sad because but I should say this. Even though this culture is present back then, the idea of integration was more prevalent than now.
Okay. Like what sort of integration?
Like integration as in integration of within the communities, like whatever ethnicity it was trying to give. Like at least they tried to give. Right now, it's all about divide. It's about us having more than them. Whatever political party it is, whatever political ideology they go up, and I'm like, yet we get together on the 4th of February, and then we just like, we're like, yeah, we are one family.
Yeah, hold hands, and then the next day
say kumbaya, we are all good. I read somewhere, we beg for donations and money all year round, but on the 4th of July, we come and give a big talk, fire some empty shells at the ocean, and go back to begging.
Guys, hold on 1 second. We like to keep track of like foreign things also. So he mentioned 4th of July. We mean 4th of February.
Oh my god. And then what? Yeah, 4th of February. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to come and bite me in the ass.
I mean, we can cut it out. We never know.
But 4th of February.
Yeah.
So that's so now this whole patriotism and this love for our country has become just a side show.
Just one day.
One day a year where it doesn't mean anything.
And what do you feel about our friends in the East coming and you know? Am I going like am I asking for trouble?
No. I was waiting for this. But see, like most of these people, like I know quite a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm gonna just say the Chinese. Oh, the Chinese, we're good friends. Yeah, we are friends, okay. But if you look at it, this is what colonization is. Don't forget, the Dutch were our friends when we were fighting the Portuguese, and the British were our friends when we were fighting the Dutch. But at the end of the thing, they had the best of us.
Yes. They got their opportunity out of it.
And it's sad that like these people would really romanticize how we fought the British, how we fought the Portuguese, but when it comes to the question of Chinese or the Indian, they're like, they're just taking a step back. We're like, nah, well,
we need help.
Yeah.
Okay, because what really scares me is I've been to Port City, the office area, and I've seen the Silk Route map or the Silk whatever that thing they're going to do, and I kid you not, that scary as fuck, right? Because if you see that map, you will realize like how far they are willing to go. Like this is about to get like World War II kind of like Hitler trying to take over like the whole of Europe, but this is the global.
The globe. Yeah, it's very. It feels like at least when Hitler was out there to get the world, people knew, okay, this is a threat.
Yeah.
This is gonna come and get us.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Chinese or even India, for that matter, where India wants to come up as a regional power, when back in the 50s and 40s we were the leader of the region. But it's scary because see, like that is colonization right there, and we should be concerned about the real threat that's here. Instead of saying, oh look, the Brits did a lot of bad things, the Portuguese did a lot of bad things.
Sorry.
I mean,
Sorry, that is the Portuguese in me that just apologized. Okay, guys, we're sorry for what we did. And the other quarter Dutch of me is like, sorry guys, you know. But obviously,
it's just yeah. I didn't mean it on your side. I was just
personally attacked here. You guys saw it on camera. All lives matter.
But see, like, as much as we are focused on learning about what atrocities were carried out during the colonial period, we should be looking at the real threat that's there. The
Which is
threat,
current, yeah.
the current, which we are going to face, where we can actually do something about it. Instead of just talking shit about what we could have done back then when we don't know where you were even.
I mean, they teach us history and they say if you don't learn from your past, you're never going to learn in the future.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to make the same mistakes. But we learned history in school, but here we are like repeating that mistake, right? It's just, last time we were not so welcoming, like we did try and resist. This time we're very welcoming. We're like, oh yeah, give us your money and
I mean,
we'll be
we don't have to look that far as in the Brits. Just take a look at 1987 when the Indian peacekeeping forces were here. I mean, I'm really proud of like most of the generation that really spoke up against it.
Yeah.
Were in the streets protesting. I'm really proud of them because like they did their part. Like they at least tried to do something.
Yeah.
And this was a time when the Indians were basically like flying the MiGs right above Colombo, and we're like, well, they're like, yeah, you shoot us, we declare war. You want to try us? At least now it's at a very early stage where we can voice our opinion and sort
say,
of,
guys, like open your eyes.
Yeah,
like, you know, you don't see this happening. And it's funny because like as a gamer, like 6-7 years ago when we started playing some titles of games, and there was a huge Chinese population playing those games. They used to have this saying, they still have this saying, which now holds a much bigger weight than what they had earlier. They used to say China number one, right? And they used to put it on the global chat, or they'll come up to you in your face and be like, China number one. And you just look at them and be like, yeah, okay, you're a big country, okay, we get it. But now, like 7 years down the line, with what they're doing to the whole Asian region to start off with, you're like, yeah, China number one. You guys are like, guys, calm the fuck down. Like it's like
you're way too up there.
It's like the gamers came out, went into like the whole political military scene, and it's like, you know, China number one. So it wasn't scary then. Now it's scary. It's fun.
Like when you talk about this, how gamers actually like sort of, this is soft PR. This is how like they're trying to promote. China actually invests in these things. The amount of propaganda that they've put money into is just crazy.
Throw me some.
For example, you know how we have this Chinese broadcasting sort of affiliated broadcasting station here in Colombo.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people think, oh, it's a friendship thing. We have one in China. How many Chinese people speak Sinhala?
Yeah.
But the Chinese broadcasting here, they speak in Sinhala and Tamil both. And we're like, okay, we hear what they're saying from their side, but they're not hearing what we are saying. I mean, that's a country where Facebook is banned.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't even access it with a VPN.
Right, yeah.
It's that bad. So, and see, like, and this propaganda is working. Because when it comes to things like, what do you say?
Even the YouTube is banned, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of social media networks, they have their own so that they can monitor it.
Exactly. So if you guys don't know where this conversation is coming from, this is like, you take us way back into the 1940s. Like Nazi Germany had this one thing running for them, which was by Goebbels.
Goebbels, yeah.
Yeah. So Goebbels was running it, and he was in charge of propaganda, and he was just feeding them propaganda and propaganda and propaganda, and you could only listen to that particular radio station. And only those newspapers were being published.
And that's about it. It was just a one-way street of information. And here, what it's working here is like, see, we hear like people saying, "Oh, democracy is not working." Oh, you know what? We should probably have like. They're not saying dictator. They're saying we should probably have like a single person with a lot of power. And look at China; they're doing great. I'm like, yeah, That's the Chinese.
Yeah.
We are a democratic socialist republic.
Which we haven't decided
Yeah.
who we are.
Who we are. We have
three
still
choices. 70 years down the line, we have three choices.
choices.
Today we are Democrats.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we are Republicans.
Republicans with a hint of socialism in the core. But we are anti-socialist anyways. Like if you talk to any, oh my God, socialism.
No.
No.
But our passport says it.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
And see, these kind of things work, and it's affecting the mindset of a country. That is colonization.
Exactly.
We've got to address that.
Yes.
But what are we talking about? Oh, how the Brits used to throw babies in the air and catch them in the back. Okay, that was 200 years ago. We know it's bad. And every time we see a white man, we'll be like, you know what your ancestors did?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
what's happening right now? What are you doing right now? So yeah, it's and I like most of this. I don't know. I don't speak Tamil and I'm not very fluent with what's happening in the north and the east. I don't know how colonialism affects there. You know.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
I'm not very good in Tamil either, although I am half Tamil. Sorry, we took the burger side of things. But it's been pretty bad, like even the recent month with the whole university statue and the monument and everything going on. But I am not sure because I don't have a lot of friends on the north, but I do have a few, and most of them have proper like Christian names. So it's like they still, like I can't even remember some of their names because I met them like years ago.
talking about Christian. Oh no, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, talking about Christian. I did a video just a couple of weeks back as well, where people are just attacking the name. Like, oh, you're not completely Sri Lankan.
Right. Yes. Right.
I mean, they had no problem in founding, like, most of our founding fathers were carrying Pereiras, the Silvers, Fernandos. They're like, oh no, then it's fine. Then it's fine as long as we get what we want. It's fine. But the moment someone says something other than that, oh, the first thing to go, the name, the ethnicity, and I'm like, don't talk about family, about being united if you don't really.
Because the moment you speak out from the box, out of it, like the machine cogwheel, they're like, there's something fishy with this guy. Like, let's pin it on his surname. Oh man, like, what do you think? I know our country is very backwards and very traditional and very misogynistic in a lot of ways. Like, what do you think is the main reason or the factors that make that way? I like how he said, it's like, boy, just sit down, I have a story for you.
See, I say we are very proud. Oh, Sri Lankans, our culture, the way of our life. But 90% of it is Victorian values that we hold up so greatly as ours. But we are ready to say we are independent, we are a sovereign state, we have our own. No. Most of the things that you hold up, they've been imposed you through colonialism.
Yeah.
Yet when they were like, okay, you're free to go, we're like, no, we're going to take all this and go with us.
Yeah.
Because
thanks to the ideas, it will come in handy, so we are going to keep them.
It's. I mean, if you think about not that long ago, about 200 years back, women never wore anything on top, which explains like a lot of Sri Lankans, except for the aristocrats, because of course they had money to afford about 8 layers of clothes, but women didn't wear anything. And I mean, it explains because it's boiling outside. And but if that was like, no one had an issue with it.
But even now, even today, when you go for an interview in our country, they expect you to wear a tie. Like, ties are meant to keep your neck warm in the cold weather. Like, why the fuck should we wear a tie?
We are still clinging on to that. But if especially I really don't understand the tie. Like, okay, it looks good. But not in this weather. Not in this weather. Never. But so things like the attire or things like how someone should sort of, even etiquette.
Yes, exactly. Or how they should, what's the word I'm looking for? Conduct themselves. How they carry them. It's not the way Sri Lankans should be, or they how
have
we
been.
were as people, as a country before.
And while the colonizer has sort of decolonized themselves from those Victorian values, we are still clinging on to them. I mean, if a woman was to walk, no need to be topless. Just
Yeah.
wear a bikini and walk down the street. The amount of, and no need to wear, even if they were to fully clothe themselves,
Yeah,
they
still, exactly, right?
still get catcalled. But and these are the very same people who would be like, oh no, all these white people with the European ideals
Yeah,
coming in. So it's we need to decolonize ourselves the right way. What we are we have not decolonized
At all, yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
No matter
Maybe
what.
10%. Let's say 10%.
10% on the
Even
table.
if I'm correct, yeah, on paper. Even if I'm correct, I think the some of the highways that are coming up right now, or the roads that are coming up, are still plans from the British era.
Yeah.
They're not like brand new plans of like, oh, we'll make a road this way. It's still the
I
old.
mean, take the question of railways.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, we have not managed to add an extra diameter
Yeah.
since 1948.
Yeah. We've just
Like,
been replacing the old one.
And talking about railways, I know like a lot of people are like, there are some people who would say, okay, the railways were good through colonialism. Okay, see, this is where I have somewhat of a hope about Sri Lanka. Railways were never meant for us.
Okay.
It was meant to milk Sri Lanka and take it back to.
Yeah.
But what we did, so what we were left with were ruins of a colonial era. But we turned it into the benefit of ours. Right now, Sri Lanka has an amazing, even though the trains are late, it is the network is pretty great. For Asia, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
I know there are countries like Singapore and Japan, China, Korea, their systems are much better, way better, but
pristine,
yeah. And works on time.
Exactly. I think that's the most not benefiting factor. I think that's the most, how do you say it? What's that word I'm looking for?
Important? No.
Defining
factor.
That then on time.
Yeah. And so see, we managed to take the best use of something that was even the teens.
Yeah.
When they decided to plant tree, it was basically there was this ordinance. I can't remember what it was like exactly. So after the rebellion, the Brits basically took out all the rights to the land.
Okay.
They were like, okay, we're going to give it to all of our friends and all of that, and just join all these lands and planting. But we're taking the best use of it.
Yes. Yeah.
So we as a people have managed to sort of see the good side and the darkest of the times.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dark sides that we still should be looking into.
Yeah, definitely. And like, talking about the tea industry, why do you think Ceylon, the word Ceylon, the name Ceylon, still has such a huge impact? It's because of the tea, right? The tea industry that we had. Please, if I'm wrong, correct me.
No, you're not wrong, because that's true. Because I mean, Ceylon tea, even for the past 100 odd years, it has always been one of the top shelf teas in the world. See, even there was recently there was a case where they wanted to change the name. They wanted to add Sri Lanka, but they were like, no.
Okay, that's what I want to get to. Yeah.
Let's add Ceylon. See, Ceylon is sort of known to be that period where Sri Lanka, the independent Sri Lanka. I'm not talking about what happened in Anuradhapura or Polonnaruwa.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the Republic.
Yeah.
That is considered to be the peak of our country, the history, the recent history. I mean, there were dark sides in that Ceylon as well, like the 56 single only act, and this whole bullshit patriotism that was
happening again.
But Ceylon at that time was a leader. We were settling issues between India and China.
Exactly, right.
We were leading the reconciliation between the entire world and Japan. And Australia was looking for expertise and knowledge from us to do their farming there, and somehow there was a decline. There was a decline, and that is why I think even a lot of people are like, we should probably change our name back. Just by changing our name back to Ceylon doesn't mean that it's just like changing the flag doesn't mean that everything's going to be right.
Yeah, what's happening with the whole flag thing? Like, guys, what's wrong? Like, What's wrong with our flag?
I think you guys should like probably like give your opinion as well, like on the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what's your take on the flag? Should it change or should it not?
Yeah.
Because you're happy with the flag right now.
Yeah,
I'm happy with the
definitely
flag.
happy. Like, this is what I grew up with. Like, why should we change it? I mean, if you want to add, if I'm saying hypothetically, if there's another race of people who come and settle down here, right? Then it's fine. Yeah, we want to add them into the flag as
Add them
minority.
and hope that it would magically settle all the
Things,
discrimination
yeah, hypothetical, guys.
Yeah.
Then adding to the flag, I understand, but changing it for just like it's a new year, new me kind of
I mean,
thing.
we have a lot of issues to be fixed. Fixing a flag should be the last thing we should do.
Yeah.
And I mean, even plus talking about I just remembered, we are not doing much on reconciliation. Like our we are celebrating 70 years of independence,
Yeah.
which has been just scarred with so much of racial and ethnic conflicts,
And still ongoing.
still ongoing. And we still haven't done much on the reconciliation part. And I'm not talking about reconciliation as in reconciliation from the war, talking reconciliation as a whole.
Yeah. Like, I mean, South Africa had issues too, right? They had the whole apartheid and everything, but like, look how far they've come. I mean, they're not 100%, but they've come really far. And South Africa is a country that, when you look at it and you think South Africa, you think Johannesburg, and Johannesburg was one of the countries which was like one of the cities, right?
Yes, cities.
Yeah, cities. Right, which were like really bad for the apartheid, right? And people are now so happy to go to Johannesburg.
Johannesburg is like, I mean, see, the economic gap between the rich and the poor, all of this exists. It exists all over the world.
Yeah.
But Johannesburg, as like when it comes to the ethnic disharmony, I mean, I must say, like, it was not. I don't know. As far as I know, it was not as bad as the apartheid in Sri Lanka. What we had was like a lot of political leaders trying to achieve their own goals
by pushing
their agendas, you know. But if they could do it, we definitely can. And talking about Ceylon again, we used to be such a, how do you say? I'd say such a
iconic, like an idol.
Idol for, because
Singapore, for example.
Singapore. Talking about Singapore, we love to idolize Singapore, you know, like
right now, yeah.
But I mean, like, Singapore, they took the inspiration from us. Where have we gone?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like they copied us, took our ideas and like showed it to the teacher and said, hey, this is mine, and they got an A star while we got plagiarized. Like, we had the whole opportunity to go ahead, but we are still going backwards. I think we're going backwards. I think we got our gears wrong.
I mean, if you think about it, people are like a lot of issues that are being spoken in Sri Lanka right now. These were issues that were discussed like 10, 20 years ago, and like especially in the developed world. Like, so that means we have a lot of work to do. But
it's sad.
There's this new woke culture that where people are like, oh, stop idolizing Singapore. Singapore has, they have, but if you put the two both inside, you'll be like, well, Singapore had really like come somewhat much better than us.
Yes, of course.
They still have the economic disproportionate this thing going on, and there is sort of a racism, like a very subtle racism happening there, especially to South Asians.
Yeah, and the Indian.
The Indians. But that doesn't mean like, oh well, they're just like us, because they're doing much better than us.
Yeah.
That's obviously, no matter how woke you are, how you want to see it,
quality of life and everything. Yeah. But I mean, of course, you're going to still have to be like, no, there's that racial issue there. I mean, I think there's no country. That's a lovely ringtone.
Celebrating Independence Day. We should be happy by the fact that we're free, we're independent, which means that we have the ability to take decisions by ourselves, to not fear people who are greater than us, because at the end of the day we are a republic, we are a democratic republic, socialist. But
undecided.
But see, we have the ability, even though we don't have the opportunity sometimes, the ability to take part in the country's future, in our future. But we need to make sure we utilize it for the benefit of ourselves and for the rest of the society. And if there is anyone who's trying to sort of take that away from you, to tell you that no, we know what's good for the country.
Yeah.
No, because you are part of the country. You have
We have every right to say
every right
to voice our opinions as well.
Yeah, our opinions to affect the policy making, to simply saying what's out there as it is. So we should be glad for the freedom we have, but we need to make sure we exercise that freedom, because people didn't die
Yeah.
for you to just sit
Sit
back
back and relax and
relax
let
and
someone else
live in
take
fear.
over.
And so happy Independence Day, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess.
you guess exactly. Like, you think like the country is doing well right now?
Hardly. We have so much potential, but we are not using it. But do you?
No, I think we're fucked. Like really, really fucked by a red color dildo. But we had this conversation earlier. Yeah, le petit. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this is a bit of a long video. Again, my name is Raoul Rutnam and this is Buwanaka. And I'm glad. Thanks for being here and
Thank
doing
you
this.
Thank you for like finally we got to do something.
Yes, exactly. And we've made some plans of making this the not only video that we're going to be doing. So if you guys really like this, do hit like and subscribe. Go to his page down here. I think it's somewhere here, like, right? Yeah, somewhere here in this space. I'll put the link in the description anyway. Please go follow him. I learned a lot of shit from him through.
And I learned a lot about men's mental health. Really, like for some reason I've been pulled into this topic, and this is a page. His page is something that I always go and refer to. And yeah, make sure that you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Like, yeah, it does. It means a fuck. I'm gonna fucking cry off camera now. But thanks a lot. So guys, happy Independence Day and 73rd, 74th, whatever, whoever wants to count wrong, you can count wrong. And I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. I hope you guys have a great Thursday, and we'll catch you guys on another video. Bye.
Bye.